Hello everyone, this is Josh Blige. Let's play.
News about thousands of unanswered
Stumble
calls.
guys, let's go.
Right. I do want to talk big picture in just a moment, but the New York Times is reporting that thousands of calls from flood victims to FEMA call centers went unanswered in the middle of this ongoing disaster because you didn't renew contracts to keep call center staff in place until nearly 1 week after the floods. Why did it take so long to extend those? It's just false. Those contracts were in place. No employees were off of work. Every one of them was answering calls.
What was I doing?
So false reporting, fake news.
Oh wait, there's the free spin. Okay, mentally prepare yourself. We're gonna get 5 gems. 5 gems, let's go. 5 gems. Yep, I knew it. Yay, 5 gems. Just what I always wanted. Alright, it's gonna be a short video. I feel depressed. Let's play a little Stumblewood Arena to start.
People are playing politics
I'm so sleepy.
because the response time was immediate, and if you talk to anyone,
Chrissy Noem gets hammered by a reporter. Can't take it.
They would say the federal government and president's not immediately responded.
The majority report with Sam Sater.
19.9% of calls were answered. I mean, does that consider that only 15% of calls were answered? These were people in a desperate state. FEMA, often the first call that they make, only 15% were answered on July 7th, 7 days after the flood. These contracts were in place, and those people were in those call centers, and they were picking up the phone and answering these calls from these individuals. So that report needs to be validified. I'm not certain it's accurate, and I'm not sure where it came from. And the individuals who are giving you information out of FEMA, I'd love to have them put their names.
Got my shield up.
Okay. I want to know who's reading that information.
Okay, I got 30 bullets. That's good.
Of all calls coming into FEMA. That is, I mean,
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. How you get worse than it. So, give me your sense. I mean, you obviously have a lot of relationships in and around FEMA. Give me your sense of like what's going on there.
Yeah, and I should say, like, I worked internationally most of my career, so like I'm relearning the FEMA system as I move back to the U.S. as well. But like, what's going on with FEMA right now should be frustrating, I think, for many people. Whereas all this stuff that would normally be essentially stolen, I guess they can talk to it. Right? So let me run it down real quick. We have someone who is the administrator of FEMA right now who has not gone through congressional approval. He's just kind of been put up there and he's temporary. And my assumption is he's temporary until they decide to pay that to FEMA. Right? Who's David Richardson, 0 experience in emergency management, none. He was in the Marine Corps. He led their artillery school for a while, and then he was in DHS and their weapons of mass destruction. Right? 0 experience in emergency. And I'm just going to say at the outset, one of the 20th anniversary of the Marine, right? I was just in New Orleans for 4 weeks before going to Nashville and making my disaster. And one of the main things we took away from Katrina was we need people who know how to do this stuff. You can't put Mike Brown in charge of FEMA, right? This is what you get. So, but we're back to where we started, if not worse. We have David Richardson, knows nothing about emergency management, right? Okay. Because
alright, I won Stumblewood Arena again. Just do anything can happen. That'll be my
Region 6 and 4, which is
warm up.
U.S. Gulf Coast, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. Region 6 and 4 currently did not have regional administrators, right? You can go on the FEMA website. Nobody's running the office, right? I think last time I looked, they don't have assistant administrators either, at least one.
Need some water.
So there is a FEMA sort of director, no clue what he's doing. Shows up in Texas a week late wearing a voter hat, tight blue jeans, and some.
It's not going so good.
You also have, no one at these regions, right? There's some career professionals there, but no one's leading. You don't have the leadership there. And you have regions like Region 1, which is New England, which you have, you said, a conspiracy jump. So what you're seeing, I think, at FEMA is what you're seeing across the federal government, which is just a complete ridiculing of the idea of service, ridiculing the idea of expertise, forcing people kind of out of it by making it a miserable job, putting in incompetent people, and then somehow just saying, oh, well, I guess it'll work out. One other thing about David Richards.
There we go.
I don't know if you
Somehow I managed to get third place. I shouldn't say somehow. It's not a miracle. It's the fact that these are all bots.
Well, he said he didn't know there was hurricane season, and the answer was, well, he's joking. Which either way, don't be the head of FEMA, right? Oh, you're joking about hurricane season. Well, on the Gulf Coast, we take that. That's great. Nice joke. Or you don't know about it, which I think is probably true. No, he gave these speeches where it was rambling absurdity. I read it out loud to one of my classes, and they were kind of thought it was joking. No, this is an actual talk where he's like, don't stand in my way. Some people want to get in my way, but don't stand in my way. And then this diatribe about Texas, saying I've got a redheaded girlfriend in Texas, and she had to explain to me that Texas was as big as Spain. That's why it's hard to do work there. And I didn't realize Texas was as big as Spain. So you have this character with
Well,
experience who just
alright, I lost to a bot. That's terrible.
if they're putting Kristi Noem with DHS at the head, just a brief primer for everybody who wasn't around. Before
We lost to Chunky Piggy, a bot. And that is humiliating. So with that in mind, we will remove Pink Martian. He's lost. Pink Alien is done. Marshmallow Wizard is up next. I don't know. We'll go again. I think we're good enough. Let's go for a ranked play. Hope for the best. It wasn't the worst warm up. Wasn't the best, but hopefully we're okay.
Working in emergency management, and so now she seems to be the head. She's just using it to do this, immigration fashion, right?
Well, she's redirecting FEMA
Yes,
funds
let's
to
go.
things like the alligator Alcatraz and the detention concentration camps, those facilities in Florida.
Show Me Swan is annoying me.
That seem to be getting okayed, including like a grant for the Florida
It's a
Division
bot,
of Management drop site report.
Let's destroy it.
For over $600 million, which isn't just going to be for that one detention facility. It'll be spread more broadly. But contrast that with what the New York Times reported last week, which is that she implemented a policy where contracts of over $100,000 would require
Show Me Swan.
sign on
Damn you!
new contracts.
I must kill Show Me Swan.
Help mitigate some of the worst of the flooding
What?
damage until 5 days after they'd already expired, because this policy basically is a catch for any contract, any grant. Because
There we go.
you could just give people a sense of how infinitesimally small a contract of $100,000 would be within the grant scope of FEMA's responsibility.
All right, I was planning on losing intentionally to this character, but because I failed to get to the point where I would have lost intentionally, I wound up losing in a way where I would have lost anyway. So chase the whole time chasing after a bot. So we're gonna count that as strike one. I was gonna give that person the game, but I definitely failed to do that. So I wound up losing unintentionally. All right, we're playing against we're playing against one champion, which is good combination.
So if you're saying we're going to put in this, well, Kristi Noem's going to say okay to it. It's one of those ridiculous things across the government now. Like, we're
Damn
being
it.
more efficient, but they're absolutely not. They're not sign off every $100,000. It just won't work. Like, once you get into anything, it's over $100,000. Debris removal, forget about it, right? Search and rescue, no. All
There we go. Okay.
Maybe you can do
Now it's a one-on-one,
a day.
as it should be, between two champions.
For $100,000. The other point yes, I think they're positioning FEMA now to just be part of this whole system. MDM, the Florida Department of Management, they're very present in the concentration camps and the Everglades, right? You see their symbol, you see their spokespeople, which is tremendous. I'm a Floridian, tremendously disappointing to me to see anyone in emergency management say we're going to go along with it. I tell our students, our job is to help people. Our job is to help vulnerable people, right? And if you're saying, no, I'm going to participate in fascism, pick another job. You're not doing our job. I don't know what it is. One note about that quickly. I'm going to do some open complaining here. I've been trying to trademark my disaster fascism concept I keep putting out there. I had an op-ed with the New York Times that they kind of shelved after a little bit. It's kind of on the shelf, and I keep kind of checking back in. Being like, does that seem to you like disaster fascism, right? Meaning that they're taking, because FEMA got put within DHS, the framework is there to just turn emergency management in general into this structure where you can just keep furthering the...
What the hell was that?
Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out...
Well, Ultra Trend, you beat me fair and square. Good one. That's 2 strikes.
You should check that out.
Send Ultra Trend friend request didn't work. That's fine. Let's play another one. I want a rematch with Ultra Trend.
Congratulations to Robert Kennedy. His anti-vax program now has increased the spread of whooping cough because they've created... Well, let's talk about the hard right underbelly, because this is like...
Alright, we're looking at a champion, 2 champions, and 1 master.
You see it in the context of... I sort of see all of this in the context of like our YouTube world and podcast world, frankly. But this is most sort of like utopian, I think, of the 4.
Oh, utopian, huh?
Well, I mean, you write about the Bronze Age pervert. I mean, so it's like that's the guy's moniker. That's, you're not going to get into the Claremont Institute calling yourself that, at least for another couple of years, I would say, probably.
What? I was the first out. Alright, this is over. Man, I didn't even get to I didn't make any progress at all. I only got backwards progress. That's bad. But I'm ready to go to bed anyway. That's all, folks. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Let's set up the next guy. Olafson. Marshmallow Olafson. Alright. Anyway, that's what's coming next time. Bye, everybody. Save recent gameplay full video.